World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. United States President Donald Trump says the war involving Iran is very complete and that American forces are very far ahead of schedule, according to interviews with several U.S. media outlets. Speaking to CBS News, President Trump expressed confidence in the progress of the conflict while telling NBC that discussions have taken place about possibility acquiring Iranian oil. In a separate interview with the New York Post, the president said the administration has not yet decided whether to deploy U.S. troops into Iran. Meanwhile, during a speech in Miami, President Trump defended the strikes against Iran, saying they were carried out as a preemptive move to prevent possible attacks on neighboring countries and Israel. He claimed Iran had been preparing potential strikes and could have enriched uranium to weapons-grade levels within weeks, although the administration has not presented firm evidence to support the claim. President Trump also downplayed Iran's retaliatory strikes on Gulf nations, noting that many of those countries were previously neutral but may now be moving closer to the United States. In other news overseas, Iran has named Mojtaba Khamenei as its new supreme leader following the death of his father Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was reportedly killed on the first day of the war between Iran and the United States. Some pro-government supporters have taken to the streets to celebrate the appointment of the hardline cleric who is known to have close ties with the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. However, several Iranians told the BBC they do not expect any real change under the new leadership. One resident in Tehran said the Assembly of Experts, the clerical body responsible for choosing the supreme leader, selected someone very similar to the late leader, meaning policies are likely to remain the same. For years, Mojtaba Khamenei has been rumored to hold significant influence behind the scenes in Iran. Many observers now expect him to continue and possibly strengthen the hardline policies of his father. And finally, leaders of the Group of Seven, or G7, say they are ready to take necessary measures to help stabilize global energy supplies after the war involving the United States, Israel, and Iran pushed oil prices sharply higher. Oil briefly climbed to nearly $120 per barrel on Monday amid fears that the conflict could disrupt supplies for a prolonged period, triggering declines in global stock markets. During a virtual meeting with the International Energy Agency, the BBC reports, finance ministers discussed several options, including the possible release of emergency oil stockpiles. However, the meeting ended without a final decision to release strategic crude reserves. IEA chief Fatih Birol warned that global oil markets have worsened in recent days, citing reduced oil production and disruptions to shipments through the Strait of Hormuz. The G7 said member nations remain prepared to act, including coordinating a potential release of oil reserves if needed, as concerns grow that the conflict could drive higher energy prices worldwide. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.